You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Beyond the Gates fans, we are just a few days away from Season 1, Episode 1 of BTG, and they are introducing us to the cast through these early release specials. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I'm going to introduce you to the primary contract characters. There's a little more than 20 of them, and then there's another 20-ish that are recurring and kind of ancillary background people that we're going to see often. So today we're going to talk about the 20-ish main characters you need to know to be ready for the debut of Beyond the Gates. And please subscribe if you're not following us. All right. So obviously the Dupree family is the center of this. We've got Anita Dupree, matriarch, former singer who gave up her career to raise her family and support her politician husband. And now that he's retired, she is still a force to be reckoned with, still very focused on family and her daughters, especially the one daughter that's having serious issues right now. Vernon Dupree is the patriarch of the family, a successful long-term congressman who was a strong voice in the civil rights movement. He is now retired, but also still very much a force to be reckoned with. And the only kid still in the nest at all is Danni Dupree. She is the youngest wild child daughter of Vernon and Anita. She dropped out of high school to pursue modeling. She married young, started having kids at like 19, 20, raised her two kids, was married for 30 years, now manages her daughter's modeling career when she's not plotting revenge on her cheater ex-husband who is marrying the homewrecker who stole him away. All right, now let's talk about the Hawthornes. So we've got Jacob Hawthorne, who is a Maryland detective. He is from outside the sphere of influence of the people in Fairmont Crest. He's like a working class guy, and he is married to Naomi Hamilton Hawthorne, who is the oldest daughter of Danni Dupree and her cheating husband, Bill Hamilton. Naomi is a civil lawyer. She's not out chasing big bucks or power. That's why she married this detective, Jacob, blue-collar guy. She used to be a daddy's girl until she and her dad, Bill, became estranged after he cheated on her mom, Danni, with her bestie, Hayley. And she and her cop husband don't live in the big fancy neighborhood. They live out in the real world beyond the gates. All right, let's talk about the Richardsons. Dr. Ted Richardson is a successful plastic surgeon married to fellow Dr. Nicole, who is Danny's older sister. So his life is pretty sweet, but Ted has some secrets from his past that are going to come back to bite him and rattle his marriage at some point. His wife is Dr. Nicole Dupree Richardson, the oldest child of Vernon and Anita Dupree. She is an esteemed psychiatrist who seems to have the perfect life, aside from a pile of sibling rivalry with younger sister Danni, but things may not be as great as they appear in her life. And then we have Congressman Martin Richardson. He's the grandson of Vernon and Anita Dupree, the son of Ted Richardson, and we're assuming Nicole. They haven't really laid that out, but the age differences are kind of funny, but they are on soap operas in general. So for right now, I assume he's Ted and Nicole's son. He is following in his granddad's impressive footsteps in Congress and also bearing the weight of Vernon's legacy, which is further complicated because he's openly gay and in politics. And he has decided that his husband, and their two adopted children won't live in Fairmont Crest, but also reside beyond the gates in, I think it's a swanky brownstone. And Martin aspires to be the first openly gay president. And that's his big deal. And he is married to Bradley Smith, who goes by the name Smitty. So he's a stay-at-home dad to his congressman and their two children, Tyrell and Samantha. They are adopted. He wants to go back to his career as a writer, but his hubby Martin wants him to stay at home and focus on the kids because he's under pressure in Congress and doesn't want any changes in their neatly arranged life. We also have Kat Richardson, who is Nicole and Martin's daughter. She's kind of a spoiled brat. She is pursuing a line of business with her model cousin and Chelsea, who's Danny's daughter. And there is a lawyer who's hot for Kat, but she's not giving him the time of day. And her character profile says she doesn't like to share, but may be forced to. So that's kind of intriguing. And then we have Andre Richardson, who is the nephew of Ted Richardson. And his mom seems to have been Dr. Ted's sister. And Andre was taken in by Nicole and Martin after his parents died in a plane crash. He inherited great wealth from both of his parents and is a fashion photographer by choice, not because he needs the money. He's also a playboy, and he is having it looks like a steamy affair with his foster mom, Nicole's younger sister, Danni. He is successful, secretive, and also a bit spoiled. Let's talk about the Hamiltons. So Bill Hamilton is a lawyer, a narcissist, an egoist, and a cheater. He had a fling with his much younger paralegal, Hayley, while still married to his wife, Danni, his wife of 30 years, mind you. And paralegal Hayley that he's sleeping with just happened to be besties with his oldest daughter. So his marriage was wrecked, and he turned around and proposed to his side piece, and he's moved her into Fairmont Crest, the affluent neighborhood where his ex-wife and her influential family live, and basically is rubbing his new life in all their faces. Hayley Lawson is the paralegal, homewrecker, and cheater who was best friends with Danni and Bill Hamilton's oldest daughter, but slept with her bestie's dad, and now she has a ring on her finger and a fancy new house in Fairmont Crest, but finds that backs are turned on her because she is the other woman and no one wants her in their social circle. So she's got a rough road ahead. Chelsea Hamilton is the younger daughter of Danni and Bill, and she is a model that mom Danni manages and lives vicariously through. But Chelsea really wants to explore her influencer career and aspires to have an accessory and fashion line and to be basically a new iteration of the Kardashians. And here's some other characters outside the main families, but that are still contract. And we're going to see on the front burner, Joey Armstrong is a casino owner from the wrong side of the tracks who aspires to be part of this affluent community of power and influence, but as an outsider and a white guy, it's a rough road. Pamela Curtis is Danny's best friend who runs a spa, and she and Danni like to get into trouble, and her vengeful and dramatic bestie turns to her all the time. We've got Ashley Morgan, who is Naomi's best friend. She is a nurse who has got a hot firefighter boyfriend named Derek Baldwin. We also have Vanessa McBride, who is a high-end realtor who's married to her high school sweetie, Dr. Doug McBride, but they have a problematic marriage. And even more troublesome is she is the one showing Hayley her brand new house. And, the rest of the Duprees and all are going to have an issue with that. We also have Eva and Dana Thomas. Now, Dana is the mom, Eva is the daughter. They live beyond the gates, outside of it. They envy those that live in the insular, wealthy community. Danni is a manipulator who stirs the pot and causes trouble for her daughter Eva, and who seems to want to take down Anita.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.